All righty, there we are. Good evening, good evening, good evening. How is everybody doing? I see we got Janet is here, Denise is in the house. Of course, JJ is here. East Tennessee Preparedness. How you doing, brother? We got Mountain Man's here, DJ. We got Asif is in the house. Spilling beans. I like that. Or spilled beans, excuse me. Jumbo Jet. Very cool. Kathy's in here as well. Carol's in the house. So, good evening and welcome, everybody. I hope you guys have had a good day. The rain actually held off, and we only had like one rain shower. So, it wasn't like it was a completely steady and still raining type of state. I see Village Homestead is here. Delbert's in the house. So, yeah, it was not bad. So, Mark said I had to wait on a Biden ad to get in here. Oh my God, that's too funny. Did you learn anything, Mark? I hope. Did he read from his teleprompter so that he didn't have to actually think on his own? No independent thoughts from the president. How to drool. Very good. Very good. Yeah. What flavor ice cream do you like? You could imagine. Could you imagine doing a stream on the flavors of ice cream that you like the best? Excuse me. I literally just started, ma'am. I just started, and you've had a busy day. The mean man only gave you one treat. He gave two. You got two. Rob is sitting over here on the couch, gave her treats, and she's over there like, okay, that where's the rest? That's the spot. If you sit on my couch, your job, your role in life is to give her a treat, and it's the treat seat, and that's usually where Steve sits. So that's what she equates. Anybody that sits in that spot, they have to give her a treat, right? You have them trained. So anyway, so yeah, we had a pretty decent day working on stuff and getting things squared away. So it was busy, and then of course then the rains came and it was like we thought, okay, well here it is. Here's this all night rain we're gonna get. And actually, I can tell you, no, it's not. It's not raining right now. It's well, I mean, the rain was like literally 15-minute shower, I think. So yeah, we're looking at by 1 o'clock, 56% chance, and then it just goes downhill from there. Then it's like, then it slacks off to 75% chance by 7 in the morning, and then we're looking at 80+% until about noon. It's right. It's going to be a normal get together weekend where we'll be having rain the entire day on Saturday, and we will all be covered in mud and muck before the end of it, which will be just absolutely fantastic. So, no bandana. I only wear the bandana, lamb's light, when I'm outside and I'm sweating. Old fat guy, all right, sweat profusely off forehead, wears bandana. That's what I do, and of course, no shirt on. You know, and for those of you that got the pleasure of watching those videos of me with no shirt on, I want you to realize something, okay? It took me all winter long to get my body in that kind of shape. Okay. So don't think that there was no effort put into that, because there was a lot of effort and thought to put into getting this physique the way that it is. I had my fur. I had my fur on. Like I said, I'm a silverback gorilla, the biker look. For me, I've always if I'm outside and I'm working, I have always sweated profusely off my forehead, where like it would run down into my glasses and get in my eyes. And so I just have always done a bandana. And so I probably have 25 bandanas. So like, the one that I wore today goes in the laundry, and tomorrow I'll grab a different one. So, but that's how it rolls that way. And I will tell you what, when I'm sweating, man, it's like that. I'll take that bandana off, and it'll be completely soaked. Asa said I'm supposed to get 2 to 3 inches tonight, considering reversing Noah's Ark to go to do the rounds at the hospital tomorrow. Yeah, right. Some food for the birds. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Asif, and the birds appreciate that too because for some reason they like to eat, and that's all part of the thing. So, and they're called sweat catchers. That's exactly what they are. That is for sure. But so anyway, before we jump into anything, I just want to remind everybody that this is a very Philip is in the house. Hello, Philip from Melbourne, Australia. Welcome, welcome. I just want to remind everybody that this is a very family friendly oriented channel. So I would ask you all to please be decent in the chat. No racism, no nastiness. If you cannot abide by those very simple, easy rules, those awesome people lit up in blue with the blue wrenches are going to boot you out of here because we are not going to have it. We want to have a good discussion, enjoy each other's company, and we're going to go from there. So, anyway, that being said, we shall move on. So I did not watch this State of the Union address just because I knew it was going to be pat myself on the back, pat myself on. Look at me, I'm an angry old man. I'm angry. It's pomp and circumstance, and it's so funny when you watch those State of the Union addresses. This is what kills me, okay? And like, what is Kamala Harris like the head cheerleader? I'm just curious, okay, because Biden will make a statement, and all of a sudden, Kamala will stand up and, yeah, oh, yes, yes. And then every Democrat in the House stands up and they're all cheering, and every single Democrat or Republican is sitting there not moving, saying nothing. And then, of course, I saw on the news today, and they were talking about Mary Tyler Greene and saying that, she's decked out in MAGA gear, and and she was disruptive. Come on. Oh, it's so political, it's ridiculous. Here, are we really more divided? Probably more so than ever, Greg. Absolutely, I would say yes. And I don't think that it is as much as people think as Republican Democrat divided. Okay. It is from fantasy and reality divided. I think that's the difference. When you're a politician and you can stand up there as a politician and say, the stock market is doing great, the economy is booming, right? Things are wonderful, everything is going great, except for your everyday average American that is out there trying to put gas in their car, trying to pay their bills, trying to feed their families as groceries are up, what, 25% since Biden got into office. And I always love this is one of the things, and it don't matter what politician, folks. So don't think that I'm just strictly picking on the Democrats, even though they are my favorite. Okay, except when it's an election year. Then we need to do something about these grocery bills. Well, why didn't you give a crap the last 3 years as they were continuing to go up, go up, go up? Why not then? Oh, and thank God that he stopped and visited East Palestine, Ohio. That was only 54 weeks later. We're here for you. Oh, it shows. Thank you. I mean, these people, and I mean politicians in general. So I'm not picking on this side or that side. I'm talking about politicians in general. They are out of touch with reality. Yeah, they arrested that Gold Star father. I saw that. Of course they did, Patty. Of course they did. Because he's not a Democrat. Come on, what's wrong with you? Asif says, I bet most of the new jobs went to illegal aliens at subpar wages, dessert for the birds. Well, thank you, Asif. I do appreciate that as well. And it's amazing how they're like bending over backwards for these people. Again, it couldn't be more than a slap in the face to the American people when an illegal, and I will say it over and over again, an illegal alien, somebody that's not supposed to be here, that came into this country the wrong way, is giving every reward and every incentive to do so, while everyday Americans are like, screw you, we don't care about you. What were they going to give them, like, no interest loans now in California to buy homes? Like, who could afford to buy a home in California? That's why so many people left California. That's why so many people left New York, because the taxes got to a point where people were just like, I've had enough. I'm not doing it anymore. What do we got? 274 in the chat, guys. We got 82 thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel, and I do appreciate that. Biden even quoted a line from Reagan. Well, imagine that, JJ. What a shock. Newcomers. Yeah, okay. Yeah, let's be politically correct, because you know how I'm very concerned about that. I am very concerned about being politically correct. That's my number one concern. You know, I care about snowflakes' feelings so much that.
I'm laughing. Hope they don't think I was serious.
Right. But anyway, please shoot that thumbs up. Again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. And I thank you for that reason as well. And then I'm going to go ahead and open up this horrible, terrible for me, because somebody wrote me, how can you drink that green tea? How can you? It is so bad for you. Well, listen, so's smoking cigarettes, so's doing drugs, so's overeating. So's it's dangerous to get in your car and drive anywhere, if you've seen some of the morons that are out there on the road. But guess what? We do it anyway. So this, you pick your poison, folks, and this is my poison. Okay. Why do I drink it? Because I love it. That's why I drink it. So anyway, again, the topic, right? We are more divided than ever, and it's a fact. It is a fact. It's just, people are so fed up with everything. So, but people are just sick of it, and there is a disconnect. So yeah, the division is there. The people living in reality, and that would be everybody that goes to work, pays bills, take care of their families, and does all that, and then try to navigate the insanity of this world, where you have to be careful of what you say to somebody. So here's a question that I have, right? If I am meeting you, whoever you are, for the first time. Oh, hold on, guys. Hey, brother, what's going on? In the middle of a live stream, but I answered your call anyway. Yeah. It's all right. You gonna come down this weekend? Oh, I hear you. Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, we're gonna do the second weekend of April. If you want to try to coordinate it around there. What do you? I had no idea. I never even heard about it. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's cool. All right, sounds cool. All right, man. All right, well, be safe. I'll talk at you. All right. Yeah, no worries. All right, see you. Sorry, guys, that was Angry Prepper, Jason. Yeah, people were going Angry Prepper. Yeah. Um. So I was gonna see if he was gonna make it down this weekend. Yeah, we should all take a call now. Well, hey, if your phone rings, feel free. You know. I look and I see who it is. Like there's another person that, like, I've been waiting on a call back from Jason, so that's why I answered. But the other person that she called right now, if my daughter called, I'd go, hold on a second, because she knows when I live stream, so it's probably something's up. He just said, he goes, yeah, he goes, you know what? As soon as I called, I went, he's live streaming. It happens. So, but yeah, he's gonna try to come down next month. Yeah, Dave. Yeah, guess what, Dave? I ain't answering your calls. So you can go screw yourself. Now, Dave, I want you to get some rest today because you worked so hard with Jimmy and I today. I don't know how you did it. I really don't. He's a machine.
What did you ride the quad around?
I know. I did see him. He came out once down by the pavilion.
Oh, did he?
It was like a Sasquatch sighting.
Oh,
Wait!
okay.
Oh my God! Look!
It's a Dave.
It's a Dave. Now Sandy's gonna. Okay, all of you. All right, I'm muting it now. You a holes. Play games. Bunch of idiots. See, folks, this is what I have to deal with. Okay, this is the kind of stuff that I have to deal with.
It's tough to be the king.
What did I say? There's two people that I'm answering the phone for, and the only reason that I'm answering the phone for Angry Prepper was because I've been expecting a call back from him.
I'm disappointed you wouldn't answer my call. It's tough to be the king.
That's right.
No, fellas, there you go.
Mary Taylor said, I'd call, but I don't have your number. And I would ignore it too. See, so now the ringer's been turned off now. So ring away all day long. I'll just let it go to voicemail. But Sandy goes, you love us. Well, when after the stream, you go into the cage. Yeah, now Steve's going to call. What a jerk. Because he's sitting there. Too funny. But anyway. See, distractions are terrible, terrible, terrible thing. But he was talking about something in Kentucky.
Yeah, I heard it's the Kentucky Sustainable Living.
Sustainable,
it's
yeah.
Probably like a get together.
Oh, okay.
Like they have that one in Missouri that Doug and Stacy puts on every year.
Right.
Where they have a whole bunch of people come and give speech,
Oh,
classes and that
that's
kind of
cool.
stuff.
That's cool.
That's what I'm guessing it is.
Pulling your chain at about the phone call. Oh, you're fine, Delbert. I don't care. No, they're just busting my balls anyway. So that's but that's the group that I have. That's the group that I have. But that's all right. When I tell you guys, and it's funny because a lot of you will never get it. You'll never understand, and that's okay because you don't have to. But when I tell you this is like a family, it's like a family. It's like a bunch of brothers and sisters. And of course, okay, stop. Who do you bust chops with more? Probably brothers and sisters, family, and that's what we are. We're a family. So, but no, Angry Prepper's a good dude. I'll tell you what, when it goes sideways, and it's not a matter of if, folks, in my opinion, it's a matter of when. If he can make it down here, and he knows this, I mean, him and I have had many talks, and this is one of his choices to come to. Um, you know, he would be welcomed with open arms, I think, by everybody in the group. The ones that have already met him, they know what kind of his character. What kind of character does he have? What does he bring to the table? You know, and he would be a guy that I know I could count on. I could rely on. He's going to be there for the group, and he's going to do everything that he possibly can to help. And that's what you're looking for. You're looking for steady. You don't. It doesn't always have to be who does the most work and who can do this and who can do that. It's not always about that. Now I'm going to put it out here. So we're busting Dave's chops, okay, a little bit in this stream, and you're probably like, "What do you mean? Dave wasn't doing this or doesn't doing?" Dave has a lot of physical limitations of what he can do, but Dave is a steady guy and he knows how to shoot. And when the time comes, if I say, "Okay, Dave, you sit right here,"
Make coffee.
Yeah, right, and make coffee, he is on it. Old Mud said, Jason Charles is an outstanding prepper survivalist. I have known him for over 12 years. You should have him teach some classes. No, I know he's awesome, Old Mud. He is awesome. We've been talking, him and I, for a long time. I don't even remember how many years, but a long time. And he's a solid dude. Actually, I'll tell you, one of the first things he said when he came down here for the first time, and that's before we had anything here, folks. I think I had the camper here at that point. When he came down here, he said to me, he goes, "Man," he goes, "I got to tell you, this is one of the best locations that I have seen for a bug out location." And that was before we had anything in place. So, he assessed where we're at, what we got around us, and all that type of stuff. And he knew pretty much right away that this was a good spot. And it is, it's a great spot, So, again, when the time comes, we'll take care of our business. But like I said, if he can, yeah, Sandy, yeah, you can. The propane heater part itself is in the battery room, and just grab one of the tanks.
You need help her find it?
No, she's
She'll be okay.
yeah, she'll be okay. If you walk into the battery room, Sandy, okay, you walk in, look immediately to your right, and it should be right there. Because I disconnected it just the other day, because I'm like, oh, I'm not going to need the heater in the battery room anymore. So yeah, so go ahead and grab that if you want to. But and SHTF, it will be amazing how many people fail. Just saying, it's easy to feel secure, much harder to secure it. Just saying. You know what, JBS? I agree 100%. I agree exactly 100% what you're saying. But this is my thought process, okay? And the way that I look at stuff. With proper planning ahead of time, it gives you that advantage where the reality is this in the beginning, and I say the beginning, probably at least the first 24 hours, most, not all, but most people will sit in panic. They'll be like, okay, we're just going to wait. They're going to let us know that everything is okay, that everything is good. Okay.
Power will come back on.
The power's going to come back on. The phones will start working again. We'll be able to have our internet. The people that have an idea of what's happened will be packing up their crap and getting out of Dodge. Okay, because a true SHTF situation does not have to be, oh my God, they've just bombed New York City or they just bombed the West Coast. Doesn't have to be something like that. It can be something very subtle that in the very beginning, people are not going to realize what has just happened. Those that have a clue, preppers, people that are preparing, are going to get a good idea and they're going to have a window of opportunity to get to where they need to be. And as long as they have a game plan, they're not going to panic. Now, they might be upset. I think most people will be upset when that time comes, but they're not going to panic. Okay. They're going to go, okay, oh my God, this is it. Let's get rocking and get rolling and get to where we need to be. And then it's a matter of hunkering down, taking care of business and taking care of the things that you need to. I will always say this, that safety in numbers is huge because you have to have like minded people surrounding you when that time comes. You can't have a bunch of victims that are mentally victims, all right, when that time comes, and expect to prosper and expect people to mesh and work together. You need, and I hate using that word, okay, because I hate when people tell me you need to do this or, um, do you think you will have people showing up just because the crime is so bad? Um, Morning light. That's actually a good question. It's hard to say. You know, once the word gets out that there's this group up there, and there will be people that will try to come looking for help. Okay, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we're helping everybody. So there's the difference. But it's what a lot of people don't understand out here. A lot of these folks out here, they're all related. Okay, they're all uncles and cousins and sisters and brothers and the whole 9 yards. So it is, if you're doing what you need to, you have no time to panic. That's a great statement, Don. You're right. You panic afterwards once you get to your location and you have a little bit of time to decompress. But again, like I said, if you have a group of people and you're working together, you've been working together, will people be upset? Of course they will be. Like, what I see, I don't live in a fantasy. I live in reality. Here, let me give you some reality based facts. Okay, give you some reality based facts. Every single person watching this live stream, when SHTF happens, all right, we are all going to lose people that we care about. Absolutely guaranteed, 100%. People that we care about, people that we like, friends, family. We're going to lose people that we give a crap about. So that's going to be an emotional thing for everyone to deal with alone, on top of whatever the chaos that has dropped its boot on our head. All right. The other thing is, Guarantee. Here's another thing I guarantee. If you have a game plan and you can follow through with that game plan, you are going to be in a much better position than the morons out there. And there's a lot of them, folks. I don't care. And I'm not talking about the people that think that they're so smart. I'm talking about the people that have done absolutely nothing to prepare. They have no game plan. They don't know what they're doing. They're going to be around in a big circle, like a chicken with their head cut off, because they don't know what to do. They haven't thought about this. They haven't. Well, you know why they haven't? Nothing's ever going to happen. That's one of my favorite statements of all time from people. I don't know why you're doing what you're doing. Nothing's ever going to happen when every single year something happens. Disasters, you know, be it natural or be it man made, where some idiot goes in and sets the forest on fire or whatever the case may be. Disasters happen every single year. And guess what? They're not going to stop, you know. Again, weather is not going to stop because SHTF has happened for you in your life. So you're driving to your location that you want to go, and now you get to a certain point of your drive, and the road's been washed out. I'm just using this as an example. Yeah, a big tree down, whatever. What's your game plan? What are you going to do? There's a roadblock where a whole bunch of angry people with guns are down the road. So there's another thing that you should have in your vehicles, folks. Just saying, is a pair of binoculars. So you can see what's going on down the road before you go in there, just la, 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 I'm on this wonderful drive. And then you come up on it. You really have to think ahead. Again, know your alternate routes of how to get to your location that you're trying to get to. Yeah, lone wolf preppers to stay away from people. Yeah, right. You got it. You need to avoid people because people are going to be losing their minds. They're going to be losing their minds.
Look how they lost their mind when Facebook and Instagram went down.
Right. That's a great
Something
example.
minor.
Facebook and Instagram went down, right? So you had to relog in and your old password wasn't working that you had in there. And all of a sudden, now you're trying to figure out how to get back in. And people were like, what's going on? What happened? Why did this happen? I'm going to give you a great example of something. Okay. Somebody else I know who's a prepper, her and I were standing, we were someplace and I don't remember where. Um, and all of a sudden, the emergency broadcast system alert goes on the radio, right? And I swear to you, folks, both her and both I stopped, looked, and just waited. We just waited. And we're like, and then all of a sudden, this has been a test of the emergency broadcast system. We went back, we looked at each other, and went, okay, and then went on about our business. But our mindset, my thing literally was, if it's not a test, I'm in my truck and I am on my way home. Period. End of story. Would be no question whatsoever. No question whatsoever, because you got to have a plan. You got to know what you're going to do. It's not time to go, oh wow, what should I do now? That time is gone. That time is gone. You have to be putting in the work right now, right now. And it's like, so we're joking about what the weather's going to do tomorrow because it's supposed to rain all day. I mean, it is what it is. The last month we got together on the Saturday, it rained all day. And the reality is this: in a true SHTF situation, don't matter if it's raining, snowing, sleeting, 100 degrees outside, work's got to get done. You still got to work, you still got to take care of stuff. And so that's what we'll be doing tomorrow. We're not going to be sitting in our buildings and going, oh, well, it's too bad.
What did I come down here for then?
You want to sit in your building? Um, but again, work's got to get done, and so we'll go and we'll take care of stuff, and that's just it. That's the bottom line. And I think a lot of people don't understand that, and they never will understand that. So, but
when you have a plan, you act, not react.
right, and again, when you uh, Rob, Rob, I was going to call you Bud for a second. I don't know why. When Rob, like he just said, when you have a plan, you act, you don't react, and that's the key. Um, Panic on the inside all you want, But you, in your head, that flip is going to switch, and you're going to go, all right, now I know what I got to do. And you are going to do it. You're not going to see, that's the best part about here. I'll tell you what the best part about having a plan, folks. You want to know what the best part about having a game plan is? You don't have to think. You don't have to think because you already know what you have to do. So you just act. That's it. Period. End of story. You just go, okay, crap. This is it. Oh my God, I can't believe it. All right, let's get going. And then you just boom, 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 boom. Take care of what you got to take care of, and then on about your business you go. And then after you get to where you need to be, and you gather up your forces, let's say, and then you go from there. It's as simple. It sounds simple because it is simple. There's an old there's an old saying, the KISS method. Okay, KISS method. Real simple. Keep it simple, stupid. That's all you got to think about, folks. You keep it simple, you know what you got to do, and you do what you got to do. And when that time comes, and then you gather with those like minded people that you've been working with, or whatever the case may be, and you go, there you go. The Mormons have a website to buy preps for great prices. They've been doing it forever. The Mormons' creed, and Dawn is right with this, okay? The Mormons' creed is to have a year's worth of food back on hand for every single person in the house. That's their creed. That's what they teach the Mormons. So the Mormons will be ready. Not all of them, because I'm sure some of them have gotten away from that mindset, but a lot of them, a lot of them will be ready when that time comes. I know the Amish will be ready, right? What's going to change for the Amish? Not much. Okay. So, again, they just won't have the English to rely on anymore. So, but but Ed, they're trying to complicate the system. Well, they can try all they want. Again, when the time comes, you do what you have to do. And here's the other thing with that situation, folks. In a true SHTF situation, I would remind people you're going to have to do things that you don't want to do. So what do I mean by that? And I've used this before, and I'll say this again. Good men will have to do bad things, okay? And that's a fact. There's no way of getting around it. It's a fact. And evil men will do awful things. Remember that. Because when there is no rule of law anymore, and there are no restrictions by society saying that if you do this, you're going to go here, people that are evil, they're going to be like, oh my God, it's like Christmas, all day long, every day. So remember that too, because that's important. Because those people with that mindset, they're going to be out there doing awful things, and it's you, the average Joe American, that it's up to you to protect your family. Even though in our society we have been conditioned and trained and taught not to, right? Because they like you look at so a great example would be guy in the subway, a lunatic, and somebody that has been doing this for a long time and in and out of jail, and is flipping out on the train and doing all kinds of stuff. So this guy puts him in a chokehold to subdue him because he was scaring people, and this guy did something about it. Unfortunately, the guy died. So what do they do? Instead of going, you know all right, don't even get me started on that one. I'm not going to even touch that.
It's a shame he died, but
Right. Well, no, I wasn't. There was another comment. Uh, Not touching that one. Again, folks, living in reality, not in fantasy, but that's okay. Um, uh, God, I want to say something so bad.
don't
Okay, no,
don't
no,
you don't get a
no,
strike.
no. It wasn't a strike. I wouldn't get a strike for it. No, no. But no.
Not family friendly.
Uh, I'll tell you afterwards. Anyhow, but that guy is sitting in a jail cell right now because he was charged. Okay, that's nonsense. He was trying to protect other people, including himself, and he did the right thing. And because the guy died, you know, lunatics in New York, okay, and the judicial system in New York is out of their minds. They're going to charge him, and so he's sitting in jail right now. That's nuts. That's absolutely nuts. Instead of saying, "Hey, God, thank God for you," you saved people because this guy was, off his meds probably. You know, why is it when something happens over and over and over and over again with the same type of people that aren't wrapped real super tight, right? We all, they go, okay, yep, that's fine. They can go ahead and they can do that. Oh yeah, Saint George Floyd. There's another one. But now, what happened to him? Now, it was unfortunate, and but so here's what I have a problem with in that situation. Okay, the guy that was doing the hold, all right, yes, him, yes. But the guys that were standing there keeping the crowd back with their back to the situation, they're charged as well. They lost their jobs as well. You know, oh, let's appease these people and we'll charge all these police officers. That's nonsense. Okay. And they're taught, I believe that they're taught, generally when somebody stops fighting, you let up. I'm going to tell you a true story, guys. True story. And this happened to me. There was, I was at a party, and actually the party was at my house. This is going back long time ago. It was probably 23, 24 at the time. And I'd met all these people. And so, I said, hey, come on back to my place. We're going to party there. And they were like, yeah, cool. So all these people showed up. A bunch of my friends were there also and stuff like that. There was a guy at the party, all right, that was 5'2", and if he weighed 115 pounds, I'd be surprised. Okay, little bitty guy. He was there by himself. Didn't know anybody. Didn't know anybody. This other guy was my size, 6 foot, and at the time about 175. All right, and all night long, he kept goading this kid. He kept going after him. I'm going to kick your butt. I'm going to do this. And the young, I could see he was scared. I could see he was scared. And he kept going, no, dude, I don't want to fight you. I don't want any problems. I don't want any problems. And I could see he was scared. And it was pissing me off because I'll tell you what, folks, one thing I can't stand, I cannot stand bullies. Okay. Well, it came down to the last time he went again after trying to get this kid to fight him. I'd had enough to drink and had enough of it. And I took my glasses off and I set them down on a table and I looked at this kid and I said, "You want to F with somebody?" I go, "Why don't you try effing with me?" And he goes, "Okay." So we get outside and we get at it. All right. And I actually ended up going at it 2 different times. So the first time, right, I got him in a chokehold. Got him in a chokehold. And so I locked it in. I am not going to lie. I locked it in, and he's fighting, fighting, fighting. And then the fight started going out of him, and I let up. You know why? Because I knew if I kept going, I was going to kill this guy. And I let up, and I go, "Have you had enough? Are you going to stop?" And so you start trying to fight again. So I locked it back in. Second time, right? He eventually goes, "Okay, yeah, 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 I give up. I give up. I'm done." And so I let him go. Now, he wasn't done. He gets up and he starts running his mouth and so we get back at it again. And the second time, I didn't put him in a chokehold. I gave him what I affectionately like to call an attitude readjustment. Okay, I readjusted his attitude, and when we got done, it wasn't good. Okay, but the moral of the story is you don't just keep locking them in and keep going until you know that they're dead. You try to you're going for a submission. That's what they're trained for, to put people to get them to submit. And once they stop fighting, you're supposed to let off. That Kavanaugh, who was a piece of crap, didn't let off. He's the only one that should have been charged. That's my opinion. Okay, you guys can think whatever you want to think, but the Asian officer and the white officer that were standing here and here with their back to the situation and looking out over here, making sure that the crowd didn't do anything, they should never have been charged. But, what are you going to do? And you got to remember also, cops are going to work together. Cops are going to have each other's backs because nobody else is going to. It's just, and that's just a fact. That's just a fact. It's them and us. And I'm going to tell you right now, folks, in a true SHTF situation, it'll come down to them and us. And you're going to have to make decisions. You're going to have to make decisions that you don't like, but you better get your mind wrapped around the fact that they got to get done. Okay. So, what do we, okay, man. I got you. So what do we got? 343 in the chat. We got 168 thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to do so to show support for the channel. No. Uh, it really does make a huge difference with the algorithms as well. So I do appreciate it for that reason as well. So thank you for that. And back in 2012 or 2015, a car backfired in Cleveland, Ohio. A male and female was at a cat booth with crime records. About 50 police and 100 police blocked the area and fired into executing them. Oh, really? Yeah, that doesn't surprise me though. That doesn't surprise me. Kavanaugh was training those guys too, so they should have never been charged. Right. So yeah, exactly. Kavanaugh should have been charged, and Kavanaugh did go to prison, obviously, and and everything. But you know, you got to use your brain. A lot of times, I don't know if you, I mean, if you guys have, I mean, we've all watched the videos on YouTube, right? And what do a lot, and not, and again, please don't ever think when I say something that I'm talking about, I don't do a blanket statement, all of them, okay? But there is a great number of cops that use intimidation and bullying to get you to do what they want you to do. Like they'll get up in your face, you know, don't get in my face, that's not acceptable, you know. That's unless I invite you in, don't get in my space. We all have a personal space. So, you have to think about those things too. But, that's Kavanaugh was the cop that choked out and killed George Floyd. And so they've made George Floyd out to be like this hero. And George Floyd was a career criminal that had been in and out of prison forever and ever and a day. He was a scumbag. Okay. Regardless of the fact that George Floyd was a scumbag, he shouldn't have. No, nobody should die the way that he died. That's a fact. Okay, so but anyway, that's unfortunately these things do happen. And guess what? And I hate to break everybody's bubble. More whites are killed by black, or more whites are killed by cops than blacks. That's a fact. Do you know why? Can anybody answer me the question of why more whites are killed by cops than blacks are killed by cops? Can anybody answer that? Because I'll tell you why here in just a second. I know the reason. But of course, in the news media, what is population difference? Captain Deadpool, you are a winner. Exactly. There's more white people. So the percentage chances of more white people being killed when you have the blacks make up what 14% of the population and whites make up I think 60 something percent of the population, something like that. The chances are that more white people are going to be killed. That's a fact, okay? The thing is though, when you have a news media, okay, when you have a news media that perpetuates a certain crime and that kind of crime only, right? Then the people think, because they're programmed, that's what they call television programming. They're programmed to think, oh, look at that, look at these cops are only targeting, these black people and beating up these black people. And so here's some facts that I'm going to share with you. And in a lot of cases, I know this is going to sound strange for some people and you're not going to get it, okay? But here's a fact. Even if you are 100% in the right, I've been there, 100% in the right, but that cop's got a hard on for whatever reason. If you run, if you fight, it's not going to be a very good day for you, regardless of the situation. Okay. It's better to go, all right, get on the ground. All right, I'm getting on the ground. Put your hands behind your back. You put your hands behind your back. and you hash it out later. All right. You don't need to run and fight and do all that. Why do you think that people are killed? Because these cops can't wait for somebody to run. They can't wait for it. They get all amped up, all amped up. It happens. That's part of their job. That's one of the reasons I think a lot of them want to do the job because they want to be able to kick the crap out of somebody. You know, so it's just again, I learned a long time ago, folks, and I'm gonna tell you what, I was a criminal when I was younger. I did a lot of stupid stuff, but I got lucky and didn't get caught for a lot of the stupid stuff that I did. Oh, it is egg count tele. I just looked up. I'm like, holy crap! I can't even believe the time. But again, one thing I knew, even though I was in the criminal mindset, I didn't screw with the cops. I did not screw with the cops. I just didn't, because I knew that if you screw around and act stupid, and I'll tell you another story here in just a second, okay? I'll tell you another story here just in a second. But we're gonna do the egg count first, and then remind me to share this story with you guys, and I'll tell you what happened. So, how many eggs today? And a yes or no for the white hen. So, give you guys a chance to get your guesses in, and we will go from there. Man, the stream's gone by extremely fast tonight. Extremely fast. I'm like, holy crap. Don says he didn't say go, y'all. I did too, Don. I said okay. Uh, all right. So, if you had the same exact guess as for the third time in Flames winner, DJ. Holy crap, man. DJ's on it. He is like, beep. As soon as I say go, he's like right there. He's on it. 4 eggs today, and yes for the white hen. Then you have the right answer along with DJ. And I think DJ has won 3 of the last 4. So congratulations to DJ. You are the winner. And the hens are just nice and steady. Nice and steady. I yesterday I ended up with 3 eggs yesterday. I think I got 2 brown and 1 white yesterday on a non-egg count day. But yeah, they're doing their thing. They're doing their thing. So anyway, so look, I wanted to share this story with you. This is an example, and this is growing up in my generation. Okay, my cousin was having an argument with his wife, and he lived in the city of Rochester. All right, and so he was having this argument with his wife. The cops show up because the neighbors called the cops because I guess it was that loud. And so the first the couple, because in any kind of domestic. First of all, let me just explain this so you guys understand. So some of you may already realize this, but some may not. If there is a domestic violence call, they don't show up one cop. They show up with several cops. Okay, especially in the city. They're all in the neighborhood. They're there. Okay. So anyway, my cousin, he never learned. I'll be honest with you, he never learned. Um, and so the cops get there, and he literally took the cop, grabbed the hold of the cop, and picked him up and just gave him a shove. Right? You don't do that back in the day, folks. It ain't like now. All right, it ain't like now. They beat his butt. I mean, he showed me his elbow later, and his elbow was like swollen out to here. I mean, they hammered him, and that wasn't the first time that he'd had an attitude given by the police. Okay, and but yeah, I mean, back in the day, the cops did not screw around, folks. They did not screw around. So to me, I always, like I said, if I dealt with the cops, I tried to avoid dealing with the cops. Even now, I deal with the cops. I don't. If I have to have interaction with them, I try to keep it short and sweet. I'm not looking to prove nothing. You know, any of that. I just want to go home. My goal was always, I want to go home. That's it. So, but imagine pulling a guy off his wife just to have her jump on your back. Oh yeah, Okie Ford, that happens a lot. That happens a lot in those domestic violence things because then they're arresting the guy, and the woman gets upset because they're arresting the guy that was beating the crap out of her. Yeah, I mean, it happens. It happens a lot. So yeah, they send the troops. They send the troops when in those type of situations. They absolutely do. And like I said, I could never. I always said way back in the day, I could never be a cop. I could never be a cop. I mean, you're dealing generally, not all the time, but generally every single day on you're dealing with the scourge of society for the most part, right? You're seeing people. Well, this I can say with a fact. You're seeing people at their worst. As a cop, they see people at their worst constantly, right? Constantly. That wears on you. That beats you down. I always said I could never do what they do because if I got a pedophile in my car, I would want to just beat the crap out of them. I would, especially if they were messing with like little kids. Not your statutory rape ones. I'm talking about the ones that are molesting little kids. I'd want to beat them myself. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do that job because I knew what I would do. So and to me, that's personal. That's way personal because kids are innocent. Kids deserve a chance to have a life, to live their life, and not be assaulted by adults, physically or sexually. So yeah, I have a huge issue with that. And usually, like, talk about those guys that are wife beaters, they got no heart when it comes to a man. They don't want to fight no man. They want to be the tough guy with their kids and with their wife and slap them around and beat them up. But the statutory ones are just as damaging as the little ones. No, Lamb's Light. No, if the girl, so it depends on the situation. If it's consensual sex, and let's say the girl is 16 and the boy is 18, 19, 20 years old, okay? We're just going to use that as an example. They're having consensual sex, and then mom and dad finds out that he's banging their precious little daughter, right? So they decide to press charges against him. That's called statutory rape, and the parents can do that. She's not damaged. She wanted to have sex with her boyfriend, as much as much as anybody else does. It's just the fact that she is underage. I'm going to give a great example of that. Let's give a great example of that. When my daughter was a junior in high school, her boyfriend was a senior in high school. And I'm not trying to give out all kinds of information, okay? But they he was the one that took her virginity, okay? And I believe at the time she was 16 when that happened, all right? You think I went, oh my God, I'm putting that kid in jail? No, they were kids and they were doing what kids do, you know? They're horny, they're going to find a way. Didn't happen at my house, guarantee you that, okay? But, it did happen. They found a way because that's what kids do. So, that's the situations that I'm talking about is the ones that Lamb's Light. That's the ones I'm talking about, where it's consensual, and then all of a sudden, I'll tell you another true story. I was taking care of a guy, and there was a family member that had died, and the boy had gone. He was 18. Okay, the girl was 16. So he went into the Navy, and he had been sleeping with this girl, and their mom and everybody knew that they had been sleeping together. Okay, so he goes off and he joins the Navy and he goes down to Florida and he meets a new girl and he brings this new girl home to New York. Well, this young little sweet thing was so upset. Her parents went and said statutory rape because he had slept with her when she was underage. So the cops get him in, they talk to him, and he goes, well, yeah, I slept with her. She was my girlfriend, right? Guess what? He got kicked out of the Navy. He went to prison because he slept with a girl. Tell me that's right. Tell me that that's the way that that should have went down. Because what? Because she was pissed? Because he left her and went to somebody else? That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. That's you know, you weren't cleaning the shotgun when they picked her up. I'll tell you what. I, I will let me tell you about Heather's that boy. Okay, so she comes to me one day, and I can't even remember what the kid's name is anymore because he was that unrememberable. Okay, she comes to me one day and she goes, "Dad, you don't like so and so very much, do you?" And I went, "No, Heather, I don't." I go, "As a matter of fact, I don't like him at all." Okay, I didn't like this kid at all. Um, I said, "But you do, and I'm going to respect your, relationship with him. I'm not going to interfere because that's the kind of parent I am. All right. It'll all come out in the wash." So when he was getting ready to graduate, she had come to me and she said, "I think he's going to break it off with me, Dad." And I said to her at that point in time, I said, "He's the kind of guy, because he's got no heart." Okay. I said, "He'll break up with you through text." Okay. That's the kind of kid he was. He'll break up with you through text. I said, "Why don't you break it off from him first?" And she, stewed on it, thought about it. And you know what she did? Love this kid. She's like the best. She's got stones. I'm telling you right now. Loved her. I always love her. So she goes to his graduation from high school. Now she was a junior, so she was a year behind. Goes to his graduation. He graduates. They're talking, and she breaks up with him. Boom. Right after graduation, she ended it because she knew he was going to. And I said, "Good for you, baby. Good for you," because she already knew it was over. You always know, in your head, when it's over. But she had the guts to go face to face and say, "This ain't working no more." And man, I was so proud of her. And I'll tell you what, I let me explain myself. I'm saying a 12-year-old that has been sexually abused is just as damaged as a small child, 100%. That I agree, Lamb's Light. Yes, that I agree with. But I'm saying you got to put it in the right context. You got to put it in the right context. And you're right. I agree with what you're saying there. In that case, yes, a child that's 11, 12, like that, 13, they're damaged 100%, and they're always damaged. It doesn't go away. It doesn't go away. Just like a small child, that trauma is there. So yes, I agree with you 100% on that. But when you were saying statutory, okay, and that's not statutory. That's straight up molestation. A 12-year-old having sex with somebody older than 18, that yeah, that's not good. No, that's not good. I mean, it happens. Always damage. It ruins who you are. If you let it ruin you, it will affect you, and you will never. Oh, there it is. See, it's weird because like when I'm on camera, whatever's happening over on this side, it's reverse on camera. If that makes any sense. So, but yeah, it's that is something that will affect them for the rest of their lives. But they can't let that be the excuse why they don't have a decent life. Because if you hold on to things like they're a cancer, you don't have to forget them. You don't have to, but you got to let it go in your own mind to be able to move on. It's just like people that have, like, when people talk about baggage in a relationship, right? If you bring all your baggage from your last relationship and now you've started a new relationship, and it steals your innocence, is what I mean. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Don. 100%. Absolutely steals your innocence. Yep. In most states, the girl has to be at least 14 before it's considered statutory. Okay. Yeah. There you go. Thank you, Okie Forge. But it gives you battles that you didn't ask for your whole life. Absolutely. You are 100% right. And I'm not disagreeing with you on that in any way, shape, or form. And that's why I have a whole problem a lot of problem, you know, and with that situation. I have a real problem with that. And the fact that they are so soft on those type of people as far as sentencing and prison and stuff like that. Listen, if they're killed by the other prisoners, so be it. So be it. They should not be in protective custody. They shouldn't have prisons just where they put a bunch of pedophiles so that they're all together. They no, you put them in with the wolves. You want to act like a wolf, you want to act like a predator and prey on the young and hurt them people, put them in with the real wolves and see what happens. We already all know what happens with the real wolves. They'll eat them alive. They'll eat them alive. There was if you saw the interview, there was a guy, and he was in prison for whatever he had done, and got this cellmate, and he killed him because the guy was a pedophile. He killed him, and so they were asking him about it, doing the interview, and he said, he kept telling me he's kind of trying to justify it, and he's, and I kept telling him, shut up, I don't want to hear about it. Shut up, I don't want to hear about it. He kept trying to justify what he did, and he goes, and I just had enough, and I waited, and he goes, he was bigger than me because the other guy was average size, so I don't know how big the other guy was, but and he killed him, and and he goes, well, why did you kill him? He goes, because he's a pedophile. So there you go. And he goes, I have no remorse. I'm not gonna have any remorse. He goes, what I did protected other children, and he's 100% right. And so somebody like that does that, I think we should find out who it is and put money on their commissary card. So that's my opinion, guys. I don't care. I got an itch. Hold on. I'm like a dog. Get up against something and have to scratch it because I can't reach it. I just don't have empathy for them, and there's no cure for them, and they're not a victim. Okay, and there is only one cure that I know of that works. So that's my take. We got to do shout outs here. We're behind again. I'm surprised JJ hasn't hammered me. Probably didn't. I didn't see it. uh, all right. So again, what do we at? 291 in the chat. We're 213 on the thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, please do so to show support for the channel. I do appreciate that ahead of time. It really does make a huge difference with with the algorithms as well. So definitely check that out as well. I do appreciate that. Uh, Also, if you are not subscribed, please. My bind is gone for a second. Sorry. If you are not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. All right, so we are going to start out. We're doing some shout outs. We're going to start out with Heavenly Hills Homestead. And he is growing giant vegetables, and that is Ryan. Good guy. Definitely go show him some support. We're getting ready to start growing season again here soon, so it should be very, very good to see what he's doing there. We have Icky Can up in Canada, and Icky's a good guy too, living off grid up there, doing his thing. And he's another one. Some of the stuff that he's done up there was amazing to watch and see. You have Angry Prepper, that is Jason. Again, I've talked about talking to Jason early in the stream. Good guy, very solid. Definitely somebody that you would want to have on your side when things go sideways. There is Alaska Prepper. That is Rudy. Rudy's a real good guy as well. Very down to earth. Let's see. There is Alaska Granny. You have Sean James with the Sean James channel and My Self Reliance. Two different channels. Same guy. Master builder. Living off grid up in Canada. Showing you how to do stuff. Really, really cool to watch what he does. There is Demcad. Demcad's another really nice guy. Very squared away. Walks the walk and talks the talk, and I respect that. There is Corporal's Corner. You have Bjorn Hansen. There is 80K Man up in the Adirondacks of New York. There is Bizariza Jizza, who does the Carrington Chronicles. It's an interesting story. Definitely worth to listen to. You can pick up some good stuff with that. Excuse me. There's Marfugal News with Adam and Dax out on the West Coast. Very interesting, good guys. Definitely worth to listen to. Excuse me. Where am I here? We got Magic Prepper in North Dakota. There is Wrangle Star. That is Cody. Cody's a good guy as well. A lot of good information on his channel. Let's see. We have Red Poppy Ranch. There's Revival Lily coming at us out of Europe, showing you what's going on over there. Very interesting to see what's happening there. There is Kyle's Cabin. Kyle and Sierra up in Minnesota doing their thing up there, living off grid. Nice young couple. Definitely worth checking them out as well. Let's see, where am I here? There's Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods, husband and wife team. Two different channels, really good people, very good information on their channels as well. There is Green Greg's coming at you now pretty soon from Arizona full time. There's Southern Prepper One down. Where is he at? Is he in South Carolina? I don't even remember where I can't remember, but I think he's in South Carolina. But good information on his channel. Yeah, he is in South Carolina. Okay. There's Gray Man Prepping. We have Doug and Stacy. Doug and Stacy around for a long time. A lot of good information on their channel as well. So definitely worth a listen to with them. There's the Nomadic Movement down in Panama. Another young couple down there living in Panama, doing their thing down there. A lot of fun to watch them. The Green Dream Project out in Arizona. Nice couple out there living in the desert, showing you what it takes to live in the desert and how to survive. So any tips are always a good thing, I think. There's Camping with Steve Wallace doing stealth camping. Uh, Very interesting series and fun to watch, and you can definitely pick up tips from him that way as well. There is Bush Doctor Survival. You have Monkey Works. There's the Needy Homesteader. She's been around a long time, been through a whole lot, and so definitely worth to listen to. You have Boss of the Swamp. Again, another master builder. Very interesting to watch him and see what he does. There is Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. Love Diamond as well. Real good guy and definitely worth to listen to. You have Patera with the Appalachian Homestead. Straight shooter. She says it like it is. I like that. You have City Prepper. There's Lumina Acres. You have Suspicious Observer, uh, showing you what's going on with the sun and the solar flares and all that. Really interesting. There is Bear Independent, the Uneducated Economist. There is Bushcraft Bear in the Canary Islands of La Palma. You have Mary Greeley News. Mary Greeley's giving you all the latest updates of what's going on with Yellowstone and everything associated with that, and really interesting. There is Adapt 2030. You have Malachi's Corner. Truth Be Told with Tara. If you're going to get your weather, folks, there's only one guy you should be getting your weather from, and that is Ryan Hall Y'all. Ryan Hall's a great guy, uh, very passionate about the weather, but he gives back to the community in such a huge way when there's disasters. A lot of respect for him, a lot of respect. There is Russell Brand. I like Russell Brand as well. He gives you the information and says you decide what you want to do with it. I like that as well. Deep South Homestead, another very family friendly oriented channel, definitely worth a listen to. You have The Outsider up in Maine. There's Betting on Alaska. The young man is the son of Bush Radical and Girl in the Woods, doing his thing up there, giving it a start. I think, he'll learn. He's young, he'll figure it out. You have The Fit Farmer. There is Prep Rebel, Simple Life Reclaimed. There is Townsend's showing you what it's like to live in the 1800s, and and very good information on that channel. You have the Prepared Mind. There is Pinball Preparedness. Pinball coming at us out of Tennessee. There's East Tennessee Preparedness. You have the Economic Ninja, and last but not least, Little House Off Gritty, also in Tennessee. A lot of good channels out there. A lot of good information. And we should be supporting each other, in my opinion. That's why I do the shout outs. We're a small niche society, in society. So rain's coming again. I can hear it right now. So the rain is coming back. So anyway, guys, again, just we should be working together. We should try to be supportive of each other, and that's why I like to do the shout out. So that's why, I do that. If we ever networked, really networked, man, that would be cool. That would be really, really cool. So, but if we get too big, we have to worry about what Jamie Munder had to worry about. I'm not sure if I don't know what you mean. I do not know what you mean. Stealth mode said, Ed, how are all your fruit trees doing? They seem to be okay. I did show in a couple videos ago, I was coming up the hill and the peach trees up on top were already starting to flower out a little bit and stuff like that. So we will keep an eye on that. I know on the one tree I have to do a little bit of trimming. There was some dead branches on the one of the apple trees, but below that they seem to be doing okay. And so I'm just gonna, take care. I'll look at everything, but I do believe that all the other trees seem to be doing pretty good. Google and YouTube play this game called Destruction of the Fittest. Oh yeah, they don't. Well, they don't want certain information out there. I mean, that's a fact. That's a fact. They do what they do. They have channels out there where it's mindless stuff that are blowing up and doing great and getting a ton of watches because they want to, you know, they want the masses to be not thinking for themselves, in channels that are calling you to actually think for yourself. That's not a good thing. They don't like that because if you think for yourself, then you can analyze things and look at it and realize that we've been duped and played for a very, very long time, and they can't have that. So, but your opinion on someone who has to have a foot amputated being in the group. What do you mean? My opinion on it? If somebody had to have a foot amputated, we would deal with it. We would try to make sure we could save them the best that we could, and hopefully they would recover. Just because you lost a foot doesn't make you worthless. So I don't understand that question, to be honest with you. Everybody has viability. I want you guys to remember that, okay? Doesn't, like, I'll give you an example. We got a one couple in the group that's an older couple. And, the husband asked me, he said, is my age going to be a factor if I'm accepted into the group or not? And I said, not at all, because we all bring something to the table. Now, can he get out there and physically do what a lot of the rest of us can do? No. And that's okay, because not everybody's job, if you will, is to be doing the physical stuff. He's got two ears, he's got two eyes that he can see out of, he has a brain in his head, he has life experience. So he brings things to the table. Maybe he looks at things differently than somebody else does. And, so I value those type of people in their opinion. Would they still be able to do things in the group? Absolutely, Sean. Why wouldn't they be able to? Why wouldn't they be able to? Yeah, it's if somebody has to have an amputation, they have to have an amputation. It doesn't, mean that they can't be productive part of the group because they had to have an amputation. That's what prosthetics are all about, you know. So Alex says some police officers are trigger happy. Yeah, they are absolutely. That happens. So yeah, we got to do. We are legion because we are many. We're all over the country. We're all over the world. Where is everybody from tonight? We got Philip from Melbourne, Australia's in the house. Good evening, Philip. Glad you made it here. We got Anderson, South Carolina with Little Stumpy, Franklin County, Ohio with Comet Moon, the UP of Michigan with Dawn, Fayetteville, North Carolina with Carol, Nebraska with Sean, BC, Canada with Emil, Southern Connecticut with Bob, Virginia with Critter Lover, Toledo, Ohio with Jamie, West Coast of Florida with Kit, East Central Illinois with Ranger, Dell in Colorado, Nowhere, Oklahoma with Okie Forge, Hillsboro, Oregon with Chewy, Jeannie in Georgia, Inverness, Florida with Clyde in the house. Ozark, Arkansas hillbilly with Randall. Another BC Canada with Janet. Yosemite, California with Faith. Missouri and the Ozarks with Delbert. We have Sandy from the Wolf Slayer. Really? Wow, that's interesting. We got Michigan Lifestyle coming at us out of Michigan. Barbara in Southwest Ohio. Greenlee County, Arizona with Codster. Uh, DuPage County, Illinois with Carolyn. Kearney, Nebraska with DJ. Our egg count winner for 3 of the last 4 days. Sean the Englishman from Chatham, Ontario, Canada. Fort Worth, Texas with Xavier. Mississippi in the house with Joanne. Palatico, Idaho with Janita. Ontario, Canada with Dave. Western New York with Karen. Southeast Louisiana with Bam. We got Southern Minnesota with Susan. Looking to land in Eastern Tennessee. I don't blame you. Camp Lejeune, Jacksonville, North Carolina with GP. Glad to have you in the house. We got Quiet Home coming at us out of Virginia. Village Homestead from Central New York. I might know that guy. Robert O'Connor coming at us out of Central Iowa. Ron out of Baltimore. We have Texas in the house with Dust Devil. Cleveland, Ohio with Ray. Uh, Easton, Ohio with Tom. Avoca, New York with Global Impact. My first homestead that we started working was in Avoca, New York. So that's actually kind of funny. Small world. Sumter, South Carolina with Bernie. So again, we're all over the place, folks. We're all over the country. We're all over the world. We're a huge, huge network of people. We're the ones that can make a difference now, and we can make a difference later. Now we can try to wake people up and educate them so that they're not victims. So, will you do the amputation nurse ed? So here's the thing, Greg, with that situation. Okay, SHTF happens and we don't have a doctor in the group. Guess what? I become the doctor in the group. That's the reality. That's something that I already realize is going to be the case because I would be the person probably unless we have other nurses in the group as well. We're the ones that are going to be doing what needs to be done. So yeah, most likely in that type of situation, I would be the one doing the amputation. Number one, because I'd have the stomach to be able to do it and not pass out. Okay, that's number one. Um, and number two, if it had to be done, it wouldn't be done with a chainsaw, Bob. No, you'd have to get like an axe or something or a bone saw, something because you got to get through the bone, and then you're gonna have like a pan, right? You're gonna take a pan. You're gonna take that pan and you're gonna heat that pan up. Because what do you got to do right after you cut that foot off? You got to cauterize. So you heat that pan up nice and hot, and then there's the stump. There's what happens. So again, unless you deal with that type of stuff or have dealt with that type of stuff, not that I've dealt with amputations because I have not, but you would do what you had to do. So you're trying to save their life. That's what you have to remember. So anyway, that being said, I want to thank my moderators who do an absolutely fantastic job keeping the chat clean. We got Karen coming at us out of Reno, Nevada. Um, Appreciate what they do, ladies and gentlemen that moderate for me. Thank you so much. I have a bone saw ed plus 2 surgical kits. Yeah, I have a bone saw as well. And I'll tell you where I got my bone saw. I got my bone saw because it's what guys use when they're doing deer. That's where I got my bone saw from. I'm the one who had a foot amputated. Oh, I kind of figured you were going in that direction, Sean. But that doesn't make you useless, does it? Are you useless? Does the rest of your body work? So, that doesn't mean you're useless. But anyway, remember, folks, we truly are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. As soon as we figure that one out, we're going to be in much, much better shape. We have to come together as human beings. We have to stop letting them divide us, which they are constantly doing. using religion, using race, using political affiliation. That's like the latest thing, and there is a division. There really, truly is. But if we came together as human beings, we could accomplish anything that we want to. What we do down here is proof of that. Human beings coming together, working together from completely different backgrounds, from completely different upbringings, from many different states, but we have one singularity, like mindedness. And there's a lot of other similarities as well. But, that first common ground is about prepping. And so, that's what brings us together. So that's something I want people to think about, because we're showing that it can happen and it can work. Also, remember, guys, to hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really important to tell the people that we care about every single day how we feel. Last but not least, STD, step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only one stopping you from reaching your goals is going to be you. That's it, nobody else. Stay positive, stay away from the negativity, and you're going to be just fine. All right. We had a busy day today. Jimmy and I were killing it. And then Sandy came and we started working on getting her shut up. And so, we're going to get back at it tomorrow. And rain or shine, we'll be out there. So be safe, everybody. I will see you all later. Prepper Nurse One, out for now.